jaws of life to get the woman out of the vehicle, and she was taken to the hospital in North Fork and then flown to Omaha for further treatment. The vehicle is a loss. Also, at court today, it is time to nominate a chair for the Orange Golden Apple Award. Each month during the school year, 10-11 at Dale University, educator co-counsel to submit your nomination. All you have to do is go to the Golden Apple or the app and click on that Golden Apple button. Straight ahead on the floor, as we watch the film set up, Bill's back with the full forecast, and ahead after the break, the iconic Brady Bunch house in honor in California. That's all coming up right here on First and Four. Now go home.
From the severe weather center, meteorologist Bill Princeton.
The California house that starred in the Brady Bunch.
All right, welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack. Let's turn our attention as day number 6 of this ongoing conflict in the Middle East. We heard from Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth talking about that they've only just begun in terms of what's going on, saying that they have sunk even more Iranian naval ships as they continue to pound the heart of Tehran. So we're following it all here on Live Now from Fox. Any developments? And this is a live picture right now in Lebanon, in Beirut, as you can see smoke billowing into the sky around 3:30 a.m. local time, as we've seen it over the last several days at around this time, different sirens being sounding across Tel Aviv. I don't know if that's happening, but we talk about some of the Iranian proxy groups. They're Hezbollah involved in Lebanon, sometimes lobbing missiles over the border into Israel. We've talked about the U.S. being so instrumental in some of these interceptors, trying to eliminate any of those rockets as they come that direction. And we also heard from different members, including Central Command Admiral Brad Cooper, talking about how the rate in which Iran is responding has slowed down significantly over the last several days, as Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said they're continuing to set the pace for what's going on in this region. But again, no real sure timeline. That is a question that so many people have right now about what's going on. So we are just continuing to look into this here on Live Now from Fox. Let's take you out to the most recent report from Griff Jenkins on where we stand here, day number 6 into this Operation Epic Fury.
U.S. Navy F-18 Super Hornets taking off from the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Arabian Gulf, helping to take out mobile missile launchers, Iranian naval targets, and enemy air defenses.
In just the last hour, U.S. B-2 bombers dropped dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs, targeting deeply buried ballistic missile launchers. Notably, we've also struck Iran's equivalent of Space Command, which degrades their ability to threaten Americans.
Now that CENTCOM has the ability to base its B-52s in British Diego Garcia and Fairford, England, the Stratofortress, originally designed to carry nuclear weapons in the 1950s and fly at 50,000 feet, can begin targeting inside Iran. Responding to that, U.S. submarine sinking an Iranian frigate with 130 sailors on board off the coast of Sri Lanka, Iran's Foreign Minister Araghchi issuing a new threat. The U.S. has perpetrated an atrocity at sea. Mark my words, the U.S. will come to bitterly regret the precedent it has set. Last night, the Pentagon released the names of the 5th and 6th American soldiers killed in Kuwait. Major Jeffrey O'Brien, a resident of Waukee, Iowa, and Chief Warrant Officer 3, Robert M. Marzan, killed in the March 1st drone attack in Port Shuaibah, Kuwait.
There's no shortage of American will here. We remember and honor our fallen, those 6 that we will soon welcome at Dover, who gave everything for their country in this mission.
Admiral Cooper said the U.S. military has sunk now 30 Iranian Navy ships, including a prize drone carrier, which is currently on fire. Secretary Hegseth said the U.S. is flowing more combat power, forces, and munitions into the region. The amount of firepower over Iran is about to surge dramatically. The biggest problem CENTCOM is facing right now is Iranian propaganda. Twice today, they had to put out messages on X, shooting down false reports that American pilots had been shot down. In Washington, Jennifer Griffin, Fox News.
All right, thank you so much for that. As smoke billows into the sky high above Beirut, Lebanon, we're learning Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth saying those strikes on Iran have intensified. We're getting new video right now of one of those moments that was just noted during that press conference from Tampa, Florida, of this drone ship that was attacked by the U.S. military. Strikes on this drone ship, as the Admiral Brad Cooper, the head of Central Command, said Thursday the U.S. forces had sunk more than 30 Iranian ships, including an Iranian drone carrier ship roughly the size of a World War II aircraft carrier. He said earlier on today, as we speak, it's on fire. And these were the images they are sharing right now. We talked about the Shahed drones that are potentially posing a challenge for some of these U.S. forces in the region, just the low and slow drones that are very difficult to intercept. You can see there, Cooper said this is the first time he joined indirect talks in Oman, appearing in dress uniform, a remainder of the buildup of military might in the region. Hegseth also noted the timeline on Iran is, quote, ours and ours alone to control, saying, quote, we set the tempo, we set the timeline, led by the commander on the ground. And he mentioned the stockpile of U.S. weapons. Hegseth said, our munitions are full up and our will is ironclad. He said, we have only just begun to fight and fight decisively. So this was the video as they were talking about it. This basically happened as that press conference was underway of the United States in cooperation with the Israeli forces striking that ship with a drone on it as they're trying to take out some of these ballistic missile sites, trying to take out these drones before Iran has the opportunity to potentially even use them against U.S. forces in the region or even neighboring countries there in the Gulf. I'm Andy Mack. Let's slide away for another quick 2-minute break. All right, welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack. Still day 6 of this Operation Epic Fury, keeping our eye on the sky there in the region as we know that potentially the fighting has intensified, the strikes have intensified. The substance of this from the U.S. military might into the heart there of Iran. You can look live in Lebanon here in Beirut, some of that smoke drifting off in the distance. We're going to keep our eyes on this. Some of those Iranian proxy groups have been active around Israel, sending some missiles their direction. So we're following that closely here on Live Now from Fox. Back here at home, a live look at the U.S. Capitol building approaching 9 o'clock on the East Coast. And earlier on today, the House narrowly rejected a war powers resolution to halt Trump's attacks on Iran, an early sign of unease in Congress over the rapidly widening conflict that is reordering U.S. priorities at home and abroad. It's the second such vote in as many days after the Senate defeated a similar measure along party lines. The tally in the House was 212 to 219, and it was expected to be tight. The outcome provided a clarifying snapshot of political support for and against the U.S.-Israel military operation and Trump's rationale, those objectives, bypassing Congress, which alone has the power to declare war. Let's take you right now out to members of the House Republican caucus speaking on Capitol Hill about this exact topic and more.
Safe for generations. And President Trump just reminded the world that the United States of America will not be pushed around. But while our troops are strong overseas, Democrats here in Washington are playing politics with our security right here at home. Nearly every single Democrat voted against fully funding America's homeland security. Think about that for a minute. Let that sink in. Every single Democrat, nearly every single Democrat, I think there was one, voted against funding America's security. Perhaps that's why they didn't stand during the State of the Union. But under the Biden administration, more than 380 people on the terrorist watch list crossed over to our borders. Around 100 of them were released back into the interior of our United States. That's not speculation. That's not politics. Those are the facts. And yet Democrats are still refusing to fully fund men and women who protect our homeland, our Coast Guards, our TSA agents, and the professionals working every single day to keep our country safe. That's not just irresponsible, it's absolutely shameful. We can deliberate debate policy all day long. That's part of the job. But we do not play politics with national security. We do not gamble with the safety of American people, and we do not leave our troops wondering whether we have their back. So right now, thousands of brave Americans standing watch against Iran's threats, and 6 have paid the ultimate price. To the troops supporting Operation Epic Fury, America and Republicans stand with you. We see your sacrifice.